Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. This is your girl, Coach O, the founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and to get your dreams out of your head into your life. Good morning, Lona. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Priscilla. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad you all are here. We're going to be on here. This is going to be a quick one. I have another engagement first thing in the morning. Good morning, Hazel. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Brother Warren. Thank you so much for joining. I am so grateful for this day. I am so grateful that you all are tuning in, because you don't have to. You could be somewhere else, and I know that. I'm grateful for you being here. Good morning, Pam. Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a quick one. You know, today is Thursday, so we're going to keep it real. It's always real. Sometimes it's a little raw and unseasoned, but this is Transparent Thursday. And you know, I love asking questions. Somebody said, Coaches knows it. You can say what you want to say, but the questions are not for you to answer to me. It's for you to answer to you. So the question that I have for this morning is, what is your motive? What is your motive? What is your motive? We see that there is a lot going on. There are so many things going on. There is so much that we can get into. Do you know you can still get into a lot of stuff while you social distancing and quarantine? A lot of people are getting into a lot of stuff on social media. We're going from live to live, and from podcast to podcast, from group to group, from Zoom to Zoom room, and boom room, and this room and that room. But I'm asking the question today, what is your motive? When you go to all those places and you meet all the different people and you attend all the different meetings and you do all the different things, what is the real motive? What is the motive for you acquiring and obtaining the knowledge, the wisdom, the nuggets, all the things that you are getting? What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? And some of us, we have acquired so much knowledge. One, we confused. Two, we all over the place. Three, you're getting information that, one, sometimes is not even all the way true. But whatever you're getting, are you using it? That's the bottom line. Whatever you are getting, are you using it? Are you sitting in these Zoom rooms and on these lives, and you know everybody got a nugget for you? Good morning, Anterica. Thank you so much for joining. Everybody got a new series. Everybody's dropping off this, and everybody's giving you this and that. When you do that, are you taking what is being said and what is being shown, what is being demonstrated? Are you taking that and applying it? Good morning, good morning. Are you applying those things that are being shared? And then if not, ask yourself, what is the purpose? Are we just entertaining ourselves through the day? Are we so bored that we finding ourselves doing things just because we need something to do? What is the motive? You know, this is what I tell me. I got this thing that I do for me. This is what Onika do. And I'm looking at my air. I'm not looking at no paper. What I'm saying is in my head. But anyway, I have this thing I do. I have non-negotiables. So when church was, when we was going to church, like we was going to church, I knew I had Bible study and choir rehearsal on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. I don't care who invited me to do what. People that knew me, they knew on a Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, you couldn't get me to come sing nowhere. You couldn't get me to go speak nowhere. You couldn't get me to go do nothing, because I was going to be, that was a non-negotiable for me, that on Wednesday night, I am at my church. I am at my church doing the things that God has called me to do at my church. I'm at rehearsal. Good morning, Mary. Thank you so much for joining. So What are your non-negotiables? On a Sunday morning when I was going to church, when church was like it was, at 9:30, I was going to Sunday school. That ain't the time for you to be calling me with your problems. That ain't the time we finna do no counseling session. That's not the time. On those days, those were those times, and I have more, but those are two specific times that I'm going to share this morning. Those were non-negotiables. But we have people that just do what they want to do. We don't have no discipline around our own time. We figure, they came and they did this and they did that. I have non-negotiables. When I said between this time and this time, and even like now, my mom there are certain days, and she'll say it quick now. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know if you was on a call or nothing, but I said I was gonna take a chance because if you was, you'll text me or something like that. But when you have to have discipline. You have to have a reason. You have to have why. But if you're doing the squirrel, every time something move, you looking, and every time something happen, you jumping on it. You got to have a ritual or regimen. You got to have a routine. You got to have habits that you have set out to yourself to say, okay, on Sundays, this is what I do. On Mondays, this is what I do. On Saturdays, this is my free day. So whatever happened. But I'm telling you, when you get into a routine, a lot of us we are living these loose lives that we go with whatever flow. I'm not a flow person. I can jump in where I fit in, but you need routines. And when you don't have routines, see, that's the problem. When we don't have routines, we don't follow nothing. We'll start something, we don't finish nothing. We'll start going, but we'll turn around. We'll get in and we'll get out. But when you have a routine to say, you know what, every Wednesday is choir day. Every Sunday is this day. I know every other week on Mondays and Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, I can't schedule nothing. I was just invited to speak, to be a guest on an individual show next Tuesday. I was like, I can't do it. Now the next Tuesday I'm free, but this coming up Tuesday, those are my prayer nights. I pray on Mondays, Tuesdays, and we have prayer on Saturdays at 8 o'clock from 8 to 8:45. Those are non-negotiable times for me. So we have to set our schedule and work everything else around it. Good morning, Belinda. Because you know what? You wouldn't schedule nobody to do this, that, and the third if you was going to work. What could you do? Yes, ma'am, you're right. A schedule or a routine helps with order. Yes, it does. Because you think about it. If you was going to work every day and your schedule was 7 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, who gonna be at your house while you at your job? Nobody coming to visit you then, because you didn't let them know, look, I work Monday through Friday from 7 to 3. So you're gonna have to come and holler at me at 4 o'clock that evening. So why is it that we're so loose with our time? We need structure. We need structure, because where there is no structure, there is chaos. And where there is chaos, there is confusion. And when there is confusion, we are lost and we are overwhelmed. We are unbalanced. But you need some structure where you say that, hey, this is the time. I know every morning from 5:30 to 5:45, 7 days a week, that's my prayer time. When I'm praying with the Overcomers Boot Camp, when we pray, some mornings, on some weeks, on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday, we pray from 6 to 7. We pray from 12 to 1. We pray from 5 to 6. Why am I going to schedule an appointment for something else and I know I'm the director of prayer for that group? You got to have some things where you put everything else in place, where you got some non-negotiables, and then the other stuff have to fall in between, behind, or in front of those things that don't move. That regardless to what happened, regardless to who it is, this right here, this is set in stone. But a lot of you don't have that. You just go with the flow. You sleeping when you can. Now, I'm not talking about, if you got issues, or if you have some things that are going on that requires that you have to sleep when you can. Even when you got small kids, you have to be on the routine as your baby. You can't be up all day and they up all night. So you may have to switch shifts with your sleeping. Sometimes you have little kids that have strange sleeping habits. You have to sleep when they sleep and be woke when they woke. They can't be woke all night and you sleep. Then something happened to them, then what? So you have to change, especially if you at home. You have to customize your life around what you're doing. But we have this mentality this mentality, and I keep seeing it showing up in a certain community that looks like me. We got this mentality that, we got to stay where we are. We got this mentality that it's not possible for us. We have this mentality that the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poor. Do you know there's some wealthy people that look like you? There's some wealthy people that look like me that started with nothing, but they didn't let nothing stop them. Come on now, somebody. You got wealthy people that look like you that didn't allow nothing to stop us. We let the smallest thing stop us. We let the smallest thing get in our way. Good morning, Daphne. Thank you so much for joining. We let any struggle, we let any circumstance, we let every word. We get so hooked on cliches where we say that, that we get so hooked on cliches that we can't have our cake and eat it too. That if it don't get you in the washing, we got all these cliches, and if we would have just put that on paper and tried to get it printed up, or even sold it on paper, we would have been better off than what we are. But we so busy with cliches and sayings that we're not busy using that creative energy to put it on something that's productive that will sell. All black people or all people that look like me ain't broke. We got to get out of this mindset that it's work. If you want something, you got to work for it. You got to work. See, we work ourselves into bad health. And then everything that we have acquired and earned, you got to use that not going to the doctor because you're stressing, because your pressure up. And I know, sometimes even we say with sugar diabetes that it's hereditary and it's passed down, and grandma and them had it, and this person had it, and that person had it. You know why some of us have what they had? Because we did what they did. We got to have all this lard. We got to have all this butter. We like all these butter rolls. We like all this fried fish and fried chicken, and we got to have it. We have some of the things that they have because we eat the way they ate. We have some of the things that they have because we do the same things that they do. I remember a story. I was hearing a story here recently where a fisherman, he was out on the lake and he was catching all these fish. He was catching some nice fish. But all the big fish. So he would take the fish, and he had a broke ruler that was out on the pier. I'm paraphrasing it, but it was a broke ruler. So he'll measure the fish according to this broke ruler, and anything that was over this broken ruler, he'd throw it back. And so there was a young fisherman. He was like, man, this old guy, he is killing it. Why is he throwing all these big fish? He's keeping the small ones. He's keeping the small ones, and he's throwing all the big ones back. So he said, well, I'm paraphrasing it. He go down and said, well, I'm just going to go down here and be nosy. I'm finna ask him, why is he throwing, what's going on? The big one, something wrong with him? What's going on? So why are you throwing all the big fish back? He said, oh, you know what? You see that measuring stick right there? I'm measuring them because that's the size of my frying pan. Doggone it, get a bigger frying pan. That's the same thing that they used to say about the turkey, where people used to cut the turkey off because their ovens were so small. Learn why you doing what you doing. Don't copy what somebody else doing when it don't make sense and you don't know why they doing it. We got bigger ovens. You got bigger frying pan. You could have sold enough for the fish that you threw back in to buy another frying pan and probably 2 or 3 or several more, because y'all like to buy fish. I like steak. I eat fish. I'm not knocking nobody because I got me a fishing pole, y'all. I've been trying, but I ain't caught nothing. One day I'm going to catch me some fish. Somebody going to teach me how to fish, but I got me a little fishing pole, and one day I'm going to catch me some fish, but I'm not a fish lover. I don't have to have fish every day. I don't have to have chicken every day. I like steak and I like other stuff, but we got to get out of this mentality. We got to get out of our head and get into our heart and know that what we want, we can have. So if you don't want to live in poverty, I'll go with you. Yes, we're going to have to make a date of it, Anterica. I don't know how to fish, so I'm a amateur, but I got me a little pole, honey, and I had bought me a little. Let me show you. I'm going to show you. I even bought me a little starter. I got me a little tackle box. I ain't doing nothing with it, but I got one. Got my little license. I'm ready. So, but this is my point to that. I'm willing to try something that I never did. So I was going out there by myself to do something that I never did, because one day I was out there and there was some people that knew how to fish. They was of another color, and I was just sitting in my car and I was like, man, I said, I wish I had a pole. They said, now we got an extra one. This was like during the first, this was the beginning of the pandemic. They said, we got an extra. They gave me their pole. They sanitized it before they passed it to me. And they let me fish with their pole until I was sitting out there at the river because I had a phone call that was scheduled at 2:00. And before my call, I gave them their pole back and I thanked them. And so the point that I'm making is, I enjoyed it. And so I went and got me a pole, And so, but this is my point. Try something that you never tried if you want to get something that you've never got. And so the next time I went out there, I didn't catch a fish, but one person, a man caught a fish and like, you want it? And so he gave me that fish. And guess what? I came with that one fish. Me and my son, we cleaned it. I ain't know how to clean no fish. We cleaned the fish, we gutted it, and I put it on my grill the next day. This is my whole point. Get out of your comfort zone. Stop just doing stuff. Do something different. If you want a better life, you don't have to settle for what you have. It is possible for you to live the life of your dream. Look, I gotta go. If you're new to me, this is your girl, Coach O, your procrastination strategist, your behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, and to get your dreams out of your head into your life. It's time for us to live and not die.